Okay, so here we go. 2022 BMW F850GS Rallye. All right, so what does that all mean? Well, it's a 2022 and it's an F850, which is the cc's of the engine. So that makes it about, I don't know, 850 cc's or something like that, or 1000 cc that's been detuned to 850, one of those kinds of deals. I actually need to look that up to see exactly what that is. But anyways, as far as the motorcycle itself is concerned, but anyways, moving on out of those technical details, what makes this a GS and not a GSA? So this motorcycle also comes in a GSA version. The GSA version has a couple of little subtle things that are different about it, right? But we're gonna walk around real quick just to show you guys the bike, left side, right side, back side, front side, and then we'll kind of zoom in and talk about the details. Hopefully all the clutter in the background is not taken away from the awesomeness of the motorcycle here, but this is the quietest space that I had. Okay, it's not clean because I have ridden it a few times now, so okay, so what makes this different from an 850 GSA? So the first thing you'll notice is from the front. This looks just a little bit narrower than the GSA. And the reason for that is that the GSA has a slightly bigger fuel tank. And so that's what makes it smaller, okay? Some other subtle differences is that the GSA comes with trail lights or auxiliary lights. This does not have those. They just kind of mount right here, so that doesn't have it. And then if you come down to the pegs here, the GSA would also have some beefier foot pegs without this little rubber piece, so it's more, and I think this actually pops out. If you were going to go off-road, you'd want to take this off, right? But the GSA version comes with the same thing, only it's maybe 2 times or 2.5 times bigger than this, so just a little bit wider like that. And that just gives you a sturdier place to place your feet when you're off-road. So we'll just put this back in place here. Yeah. Okay, so that goes in just like that. And let's see, what are the other differences? Okay, so the GSA also comes with the rack, BMW rack system in the back here. So it's got all that, the panniers, the rack system for the panniers ready to mount on the back. And then that also comes with all the full body protection up front. So those are the main differences between the GS and the GSA. So what is this Rallye all about? The Rallye, as far as I'm understanding it, and if I'm understanding it correctly, feel free to correct me in the description, but the Rallye is, the difference is the color scheme. That's basically about it, as far as I understand. So if you get the Rallye, you'll get this blue color with the white and the red, which it's fine. I personally, I think, prefer just all blacked out motorcycles, but I really don't mind this a whole lot. Oh yeah, and the rims, the gold in the rims is also a package that comes with a Rallye edition. And I'm assuming this is also that color because of that Rallye, whole Rallye concept. But I actually don't mind it in this color. It sticks out. It stands out real nice. It makes it real sharp. I think it's a very nice color scheme. And this is coming from somebody who would prefer just an all black motorcycle. But that's what that looks like. Right, so let's take a look here. What do I think about this motorcycle? So far, I think it's been great. Okay, and so what are some of the highlights here? So you've got this system here. This is your kind of adaptive shock system or shock system valving. It kind of always tries to make sure you're riding level. Whether you're if you're riding 2 up, it'll, you know, lift up the suspension to keep it at the same level no matter what. And that's what that system is for. And then going around, as we come around here, we got the headlights. I like the headlights. I always like BMW headlights because they're always kind of offset. They're not or asymmetrical. They're never symmetrical, even on the S1000. So that's kind of nice. All right. These are kind of interesting, how they kind of just stick out like that. I'd like to see, nobody really does, nobody that I can think of anyways, really does the indicators really kind of nice. I think they have to do them a certain way, I'm sure, because of DOT regulations, but they always kind of stick out like sore thumbs. And this is no different, I think. All right. Now we're over on the right-hand side, and this came with the iAMMarchal exhaust system, and I don't think that has anything to do with the Rallye system. When I spoke with the dealership, they said that sometimes they just put them on, and so that's why this has it, I guess. But it doesn't sound incredibly awesome or anything like. I don't think it does anyway, but then again, I've never heard the factory exhaust, so maybe compared to that it sounds different, but in my opinion it's not really that drastically different. And I'll turn it on here in a second just so you guys can hear it for yourselves. All right, and that's about that from the outside. And then if we come up here, so this is a navigation system. It didn't come with it. This comes with the cradle, but not that navigation system. The navigation system itself is just a Garmin unit, and that's about $890 or $850 for that. The mounting location is kind of terrible. Like, it's actually pretty bad, because when you're sitting on the motorcycle, you feel like you have to look down. This is your view basically when you're trying to read navigation, and then you're missing out on everything else that's going on up here. So literally when I'm riding, this is my view. And then when I have to read the navigation unit, this is what happens. So this whole time here, I'm not looking at the road at all, trying to focus on this little screen. So I've seen people that have moved them up into this area here, and I think that's something that I'll be doing in the future if I'm going to actually seriously try to use that. But this unit also integrates with your cell phone, and I think it also provides directions right on the screen. As I understand it a little bit better, I'll kind of do a video on that as well. But it's not complete directions. It's just like a little arrow, you know, like turn left in 2 miles or whatever else not. So it's not like it's a big display with the maps and everything else on it. It's not. All right. I like the screen. The screen is real bright, both on the navigation and this TFT screen. And we can turn it on here so we can see what that kind of looks like. Just does this little GS welcome thing here. But yeah, pretty bright screen. I think that's pretty nice. And here's a navigation. I got it set to full brightness as well, but that's actually pretty good as well. So moving on up here, there's a little switch here, as a matter of fact, that allows you to control your windshield. Okay, so, well, not a switch, but a lever here. So I can do that. That raises the windshield. Since I'm a little bit taller, I ride with it in the raised position, and it's fair. It does a fair amount of blocking of the wind. I don't think if it was just a little bit taller, I think it's 6'1". If it was a little bit taller, I'd like it a little bit better, but it still functions, I think. So let's see about how much it goes up here. So I'm going to say about an inch difference up and down. So that's that. And then over here, you've got this little scroll wheel here that you actually use to go through your menu options and things like that. Again, I'm going to work through that in a separate video. And then this is for your shock system that I just showed you guys right there, and that's how you would control that. And I think that's about it. Starting it, and horn indicators or turn signals, cruise control on and off, And that is the motorcycle in a nutshell. I have changed my handlebars a little bit just to raise them up a little bit. So I had to remove the navigation unit completely and undo these bolts, and then undo the bolts underneath that, and then I just kind of twisted it up a little bit. They were a little bit more swept backwards, so I just lifted them up a little bit, kind of just imagine me twisting them up with this loose, and that's what that looks like there. But I'll do another video. I've got a video on that somewhere. I kind of misplaced it temporarily, but I'll find it and I'll post that. But that's about that for right now. We're going to start it up just so you guys can hear what it sounds like, and see if, for those that have them, see if that exhaust system is any different. So I'm going to come up here, turn that on. It's in gear right now, so we're going to put it in neutral with my Crocs riding shoes. Okay, so that's in neutral now. And I'm going to put the camera back here so you guys can hear it as it starts up. And the audio, of course, is never that great on camera. All right, so that's the sound of the exhaust system. I don't know if you were super impressed or not, but I think it was okay. And we will just turn it off here with the on and off button, and that kills the rest of the motorcycle. So that is about that with that motorcycle. I've ridden it, let's say what now? Actually, let's just take a look here. So 66 miles. Okay, so I've ridden it all of 66 miles, so it's not like I've got tons of experience on this motorcycle. So I had to offload it from the truck without ramps, and that's another video I need to post, and hopefully by the time you're watching this, I've actually posted that. But that was interesting in itself. Let's see. And so 66 miles, that's just around the neighborhood to the grocery store and back. I'm not a big time rider, so it's not like I'm trying to go to South America on it or do anything like that. I just want to commute, maybe take it on the back of my RV, and then when we go camping, just kind of tool around, go to Moab, ride around there a little bit. But that's the extent of the riding that I'm actually going to do with it. More of a scout motorcycle than it is, going to be taken out on road trips. But things can always change. But for right now, that's what I'm looking at. Okay, so what do I think about it? I think the motorcycle is great. I think it rides great. I rode it around off-road for a little bit. I've got a few acres out here, so I just kind of rode it around outside, leaned it over a little bit here and there, try to do some figure eights and all that kind of stuff. And it absolutely handles great for being that much heavier than my 250. That KLX 250, I think, weighs about 300 pounds. Don't quote me on that. I'll try to put it down in the bottom here, but it weighs significantly less than this. So like 200 pounds, perhaps less than this motorcycle right here. And this weighs 500 pounds. So just riding around the yard or the property and leaning it over, this and that, it actually handles pretty good. I didn't feel like I was gonna top. I didn't feel like it was going to fall over or anything like that, just trying to do those little stunts. So love the way it handles. On the road, same thing. It seems to ride real smooth. No real vibrations in the handlebars or anything like that. So I like how that operates as well. What would I change so far? The navigation unit is the only thing so far that I look at it and I'm like, oh, what were you guys thinking? Are you riders? Have you ever ridden motorcycles? Like, I'm not sure how that happened, but that's a terrible oversight, and I think it's almost kind of dangerous because you take your eyes off the road for so long looking down at that navigation unit. Just having it further up, I think, would have made all the difference in the world. But besides that, honestly, no complaints on the motorcycle so far. But like I was saying, first adventure motorcycle, don't have a whole lot of reference points to compare it with. I just know everybody rants and raves about the GSs whenever you're out there. Whenever I was doing my research, it was GS, GS, GS. So after doing some research, I was like, okay, I guess I'm getting a GS. And so that's how I arrived here. I look forward to riding something else, like the KTMs, for example, are supposed to be real good, but they say that they're a little bit more off-road oriented than the GS motorcycle. This is good off-road and it's good on-road, you know, like a jack of all trades kind of situation. So that's what I liked about it. I was looking for something a little bit more well-rounded, right? RV breaks down, I take the motorcycle down, I can ride on the road for, you know, X amount, 50 miles down the road and go pick something up. I'm not saying the KTM can't do that, but I just wanted something that kind of does great in both worlds, something that's versatile, right? And so that's how I ended up with this. Could I have made a bad decision? Yeah, it's quite possible. But as far as the community is concerned, real strong GS community out there. And I like them. They've been making them for a long time. They've been the leader of the segment for a long time. So I think all those things kind of speak in favor of it. I'm going to install the panniers like I was talking about, panniers in the back. I think they'll also give me a little bit of protection, especially around the exhaust here. I feel like if it was to fall over, there's a situation where it hits the exhaust. So that's why I want to get those panniers, and also so I can have those bags on there and be able to take it out to the grocery store, pick up some groceries, throw them in the bags, and that kind of thing. And if I do decide to do a tiny little trip, not to South America or anything crazy, but it'd be nice to know that I can at least carry certain things. Or maybe I want to ride to work, right? I can put my laptop in the bags and have a place to carry stuff. So that is the extent I think I'm going to use this motorcycle. And so I think that's about it for right now. No real regrets right now, but it's just 66 miles, okay? So take that with a grain of salt, or take it however you want to take it. This is my 2022 F850GS Rallye BMW motorcycle, and so far, I love it.